demonstration, somehow you're not patriotic, and we should stand up and say, we are Americans and we have a right to debate and disagree with any administration.
Over the last few decades, we were told women are strong. We were told women can do anything a man can do. We are told to this day that women deserve equality in pay and respect. We are told women should be allowed in combat roles, although most women believe a draft for them is out of the question. Paris Hilton, the night before going to jail, appeared at the MTV Music Awards in Los Angeles. She said this.
Scared, but I'm ready to face my sentence, and even though this is a really hard time, I have my friends and family and my fans who support me, and it's just been really helpful in this really scary time.
How much is all this fan support meant to you?
I've received thousands of letters from people all around the world of support, and just really been inspirational and really helped me, and I'm really scared, but I'm ready to do this. And I hope that I'm an example to other young people when they make decisions.
What was your choice? How did you decide to go county instead of?
Well, I did have the choice to go to a pay jail, but I declined because I feel like the media portrays me in a way that I'm not. And that's why I wanted to go to county to show that I can do it, and I want to be treated like everyone else. And if I'm going to do the time, I'm going to do it the right way.
How do you think it's going to change you?
Even these past couple weeks, it's completely changed my life. I've had a lot of time alone to think and to reflect on my life and realize what's most important. And, you know, even though this is a scary thing, I'm using it in a positive way. And when I come out, I can't wait to start my new life and be even stronger than I am.
So let's be clear. Paris said, I did have a choice to go to a pay jail, but I declined because I feel like the media portrays me in a way that I'm not, and that's why I wanted to go to county to show that I can do it, and I'm going to be treated like everyone else. I'm going to do the time. I'm going to do it the right way. That being the case, what's up with all the crying? What's up with the loud sobbing all night in jail? What's up with the mystery illness that was so private that Paris's lawyer didn't bring documents to Judge Sawyer and prove she needed to stay home?
I'm ready to face my sentence.
What's up is that Paris Hilton is single-handedly shredding the women's movement to pieces. Paris is proving to some that women can't hack it. Of course, I know that's not true, but work with me on this.
Well, I did have the choice to go to a pay jail, but I declined because I feel like the media portrays me in a way that I'm not. And that's why I wanted to go to county to show that I can do it, and I want to be treated like everyone else. And if I'm going to do the time, I'm going to do it the right way.
So far, she's not doing a good job at proving anyone wrong. She's proving the fact that at least one woman can't handle being treated like everyone else. What would happen if Paris was Peter? Would Los Angeles County Sheriff Lee Baca allow a Peter Hilton to be released early because he was a spoiled, rotten little freak that was losing it? What kind of mystery illness would prompt such sympathy from Lee Baca? Was it because Paris is a girl? Paris looked okay the night before she went to jail, so now we're to believe that in all her personal appearances, and while on The Simple Life, Paris was all doped up? Okay, that could be when you listen to her, but the point is, women are supposed to be strong. The next time a women's studies nutjob gets in our faces and lectures us on how we don't respect women, I'll have 2 words for her to explain to me. Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton is the Fender amplifier for all stereotypes of women. She uses sex to her advantage. She shows little sign of intelligence. It's always all about her. The rules never apply to her because she's cute. There can always be an exception for her because she looks great in a bathing suit and heels. She made at least 1 sex tape. She's rich, so she has no responsibilities except to party all the time and let others read her traffic citations for her. Now, while that is an absurd description of women, it's the antithesis of what the feminist woman should be. However, more young girls admire Paris Hilton and can identify with her than Eleanor Schmiel in a lineup of 2.
Well, I did have the choice to go to a pay jail, but I declined because I feel like the media portrays me in a way that I'm not. And that's why I wanted to go to county to show that I can do it, and I want to be treated like everyone else. And if I'm going to do the time, I'm going to do it the right way.
She's not doing her time with any kind of dignity. We're supposed to treat women with dignity. However, one should hope dignity would be a two-way street. Paris Hilton drives drunk in the oncoming lane, and we all know what happens when one comments on the driving ability of women. Paris Hilton sure talked a lot of crap the night before she went behind the bars. She talked about being an example, thus an inspiration to others. She talked about the thousands of letters from fans that support her. She said she's had time to reflect. It would seem she can't handle all that quiet time, so she looks like the very weak woman we were all told no longer exists. First, she was photographed crying in the sheriff's squad car, being taken to see the judge again. Later, we hear of her sobbing in court, trembling and using up the tissues. When told she had to return to jail, she reportedly screamed, "It's not right," and cries out for her mommy. If there was a women's movement, thanks to Paris Hilton, there are lots of new open wounds to lick. Few of us wanted to admit in public that some women were that shallow, that dishonest, that irresponsible, that fragile, and that weak. That will never, thank God, apply to all women. And thanks to Paris Hilton, we can at least say those things and have a high-profile example. Is the women's movement dead? Probably not. But when she gets out of the slam, Paris will have a lot of explaining to do about the whining and the crying. Most men, and especially independent women, deserve an answer. We'll just have to wait for the Paris Diaries, that is, when it's written for her. This should have been a good last few days for liberals. They seem to be naturally angry people. They seem to wake up and leave the house angry. Take a few minutes and calm down. Run a comb through your hair, always looking all scraggly. So why are liberals happy today? Because the former aide to Vice President Dick Cheney, Scooter Libby, is going to jail. As you know, I get a little annoyed when people lose their freedom while the truly guilty walk free. Libby was found guilty of perjury in the Valerie Plame Was She or Wasn't She a Covert CIA Agent trial. While Libby sits in jail, a few things to ponder. The trial all started when Libby was accused of giving Plame's name to a Washington reporter after she sent her husband, Joe Wilson, on a fact-finding mission to Niger to see if they were selling uranium to Saddam Hussein. Anti-war, anti-anything Republican, Wilson issued a report to the CIA and promptly wrote an op-ed on his findings in the New York Times that we all know now was not the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. While under oath in front of Congress, Valerie recently told the world she never pushed to send him to Niger, although documents from the Senate Intelligence Committee show she did. 205 news outlets covered the story, yet only one has taken the time to publish the fact that Plame perjured herself, and it wasn't Democracy Now! Plame claims her secret cover was blown by Libby, even though she admitted when she travels, she sometimes uses an alias and sometimes uses her true name. Now come on, how many secret agents use their real name? That is, if they are really secret. She even went to a major Democrat function under her true name and has appeared in a Vanity Fair pictorial with her husband. While investigating the crime, federal investigator Patrick Fitzgerald found out that Libby didn't leak the name at all. We all found out it was Richard Armitage, a State Department official working for Colin Powell, admitted he told the reporter about Valerie Plame. So why was Scooter Libby found guilty of perjury? Because his accounts of events that happened years ago didn't match the testimony of others. Even though the original crime being investigated was who blew Valerie's cover, no charges were ever brought against Armitage, maybe because Valerie wasn't a secret agent anymore. So unless there is a presidential pardon, which will probably piss off the liberals, Scooter Libby will spend the next 30 months in jail while Valerie Plame and her husband are living in Santa Fe, suing everybody so she can sell her story as a covert agent and get a book and movie deal. Now, while this is an injustice, my father always said, the truth always comes out. When it does, I predict it will be Scooter Libby who will be issuing the payback. That should give liberals lots to be angry about. This is Bob Parks, Black and White, and you can read my columns and/or watch my YouTube videos online. See you next week at the same time on 97.3 FM WJDF.